I don't care if I made a video yesterday, I'm bored and I want to make another one. Anyway, I'm sitting back in bed today thinking what I should be doing because the thing is, I've been pretty bored lately, as I've said in a lot of videos. But here's the thing, we're all stuck inside still. Nothing is really completely opened up yet. We can't really go anywhere. And I remember I had a bunch of sheet metal on me, and by that I mean I have like over, I don't know, 30 square feet of sheet metal, which, I mean, that's a lot. So I have a lot of the stuff. So I figured I should probably do something with it, because I wouldn't really want to work on anything clay related, because you see this? See this? This shelf right here? I made this, and a couple other things over the past couple weeks, and I've just been really kind of clayed out. So you know what? I figure I'm gonna make something out of the metal and see where I go from there. The problem, however, is trying to find ideas to make something out of when you have no idea what to make, because what are you going to make with just pure sheet metal, you know? I mean, there isn't really too many things that you can make off the top of your head that aren't A, illegal, and B, they just don't work. So I was trying to think of ideas today, and I came up eventually with thinking, I want to make a suit of armor, but I don't want to make a full suit yet, because that would just be a lot of work. So why not make a Minecraft iron helmet? Because the thing is that I could easily do the calculations on to get the size and the correct dimensions of everything, so I figured why not just have some fun and create that. Now the thing about Minecraft is that, you see, Minecraft Steve, he is exactly one block in, like, area around his body, so one block is 16 pixels, and each pixel is roughly 2.5 inches to add up to 1 meter, because each Minecraft block has an area of like 1 meter by 1 meter along the sides, so 1 meter, cube of, you get my point. But regardless, the thing is that he has his little shoulder pads, which each add up to 4 pixels, and 4 pixels, which means 8 pixels, so his head is half a meter. The problem with that, however, is that's still like 20 inches, and the thing goes over that. So I have a little 3D model here that somebody made of Iron Helmet, and the thing is that, it's still 8 pixels, which is 20 inches across. So what I figure is I think I'm actually going to half the dimensions instead. So I'm going to make each pixel equivalent to, like, instead of 2.5 inches, the, other equivalent of that, 1.25. So instead, I'll end up with a 10-inch helmet, which will fit pretty well around my head, and I can just apply this to all the other little things on here, and I think that'll work much better, because then I won't have to deal with having this massive helmet like this big. It just wouldn't work, would it? Regardless, this game is very confusing to me, because Steve is like 6'4", no, 6'6" even. So that's not a bad thing. I'm like 6'2", so I can understand that. But he's like 3 feet wide. So, it gets a little bit strange there. Anyway, what I'm just going to do is I'm going to put out the measurements on the sheet metal, and I'm going to attempt to create this based on the model here. Also, I figured I should mention, I'm not going to wear the glasses for this, because I'd rather see while making this than just not. Also, what I think I'm going to do is I'm actually going to make a cardboard rendition first, which is going to go beneath the steel, because just plain up sheet metal won't really hold together that well, and I know it's an iron helmet, but the thing is that, Steve is making that with 5 iron ingots, and little fun fact, each one of those ingots is around, a meter in length and a foot wide, so it's going to be much thicker, but I don't have just pure iron bars that are that large, let alone having just the capacity to cut them, so instead I'll just be using cardboard on the bottom to make it seem a little more bit realistic that I can wear it. So I cut the first piece, and the measurements are like 10 inches on the top, 5 inches down the sides, and then, 1.25 inch to this way, 1.25 inch up, 2.5 inches across, and then 2.5 inches down. It's like the same concept for the whole other side. But now I'm gonna go on to the other 3 pieces of the helmet. So I went ahead and built the second piece, but the thing is that it's the same thing on both sides. So I just did both of them because it's just it's the same piece. They go on each side of the helmet. So I figured I might as well make them So now that I have that, I'll work on the back, and then I'll just do the top of the helmet, and then I should have the cardboard part done. Now I cut out the back piece, and I also cut out the roof of the helmet, which is just a 10 by 10 square of cardboard, so, you know, I figured I should just cut that out while I have it. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to trace these shapes onto the steel sheet, and we'll see what we get from there. Okay, so I have all the pieces of sheet metal cut out to their corresponding little cardboard bits, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take them, and I'm going to glue them down to the cardboard, and I'm going to then piece together all of these into the final product. So, it's the next day, and I got all the pieces glued down and everything. I figured I should give them a little bit to dry, and I was doing some stuff last night, so I figured I might as well, but all these things are now nice and solidly put down, and all that's left to do now is, I believe what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually hot glue the edges of these together, and then I'm going to flex tape them together, because, not even joking you, when I say that flex tape is really good, I mean it. It's really good. I mean, look, here's the thing for reference. This is the back of my old phone case, and it's been broken for months now. Literally, the only thing holding it together is, like, 5-6 pieces of flex tape, and although it's still broken, the thing hasn't fallen apart. In fact, it's been so strong that, like, even though it, like, has that, where I have to try to push it back in, I mean, like, the tape just keeps it together. Anyway, yeah, I digress. We'll start hot gluing them together, and it should be good from there. Okay, so I glued all the pieces together, so now all I'm gonna have to do is take some flex tape, and I'll go around the edges of that, and should be good to go. So all the flex tape has been applied, and now what I think I'm gonna do is, just to make it look a little more complete, I'm gonna mix some black and white paint until I get a nice silverish color, and I'm gonna cover the inside of it with that so it ends up looking more like actual iron all throughout. Well, now that it's painted, we have a full Minecraft helmet. And I'm just waiting for it to dry, but that's pretty much it. It's got the metal on the outside, it's got the paint, it's completely wearable. I'm pretty happy with this. I also don't remember if I mentioned it or not, but to cut these you'll need tin snips, and you can get the steel sheet at like a hardware store, and they typically sell like big bulk sheet metal. A full sheet was like $11, and you can probably make 3 helmets with the full sheet, so pretty good. But I figured I should probably mention that in case I didn't. But anyway, hope that you possibly enjoyed that, whoever you are. I don't know why people watch these, but the fact that they do makes me happy. So, have a good rest of your day, and bye. I filmed that last part and realized, oh, wait a minute, I didn't even wear the thing. You're obviously going to want to see it, right? Well,
I mean, come on now. That's pretty good.